On this episode, we're going to show you more in depth on how to run comps. So this is part 2. Like I told you, we did part 1. Now I'm going to show you the more in-depth analysis. So let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of an Investor's Journey podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Barbera. And in this episode, like I said, we are going to break down the level of analysis that you have to do once you've acquired the property. Regardless if you're going to keep it or sell it, there's still more analysis that we keep doing throughout the journey of this project. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show you pretty much the comps that we were running on the last episode, because it's regarding the same property. So that property, we did pick it up, we did renovate it, and now it's in the market. And I want to show you what it is that we saw along the way, because things did change on this property. So I want to show you what it is that we saw, why we made those shifts, and what is it that we are looking at right now as far as, listing it, are we going to rent it, or what we're going to do. So with that being said, let's get into this. So all the numbers and everything are essentially the same as they were last time. We're still looking at, it's still the same information as last time, the same property and everything. So again, you got to figure out what pretty much your MLS system looks like, but this is more or less all the same stuff. So last time, like I said, we go back 6 months. This was for that quick research. The boundaries already set up on the property. This is the standard stuff, okay? So what I do want to do, because if you hit count here, you're going to see that there's 51 properties. So again, on our MLS, once you cross 40, they put a second page. And I don't want a second page because those are usually the highest sold. So I want those all on one page. I want to be able to see everything. So I'll go plus or minus 20% on the square footage. So the square footage is about 1680. So let's do 1300 and 2100. So that's roughly, okay? It doesn't have to be to a T. It's just to weed some properties out. So let's hit count again. 40 properties. Oof. All right. So let's bring that closer then. Let's do 2,000 square feet, and let's do maybe 1350. 36. Yikes. All right, that's fine. So 36 properties. Now you see up here, we have the active, new, sold, and pending. All right, I'm going to leave the sold and pending, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select all the actives. All right, the purpose for this is I want to know what my competition looks like. I want to know that when I'm analyzing this property, what are the other houses that are currently listed or maybe on under active option? What is it that they have? What have they done? And to see if there's something that we can do better or the same. So, you want to definitely select all of that and kind of see what your competition, even what your competition is looking like right now. Is there a lot of competition? Did something happen? Did it pick up? Or did everything die off? Or is it in an area, what happened to us in another flip that we did? There was just no inventory. People weren't selling, and people really wanted that neighborhood. So when we put our house on the market, we had backup offers within like 3 days of listing. It was insane, and it was because we were the only ones there. So you want to be able to run that and figure that out. So let's get into this one. Let's look at this. All right. So let's see. I want to scroll all the way to the bottom because this is what I want to see. So 1,800 square feet, 1,300 sold at 202. That's interesting. There's an active, a new, another sold here. That's 1,800 square feet. Another active option. So AO, active option. And let me take a look at these two. So why am I selecting these? So this is giving me a sold, which is what I told you guys before. When you're looking at numbers and everything, you want to look at solds, because that's what they actually closed for. You can list a property at whatever price you want. It does not mean it's going to sell at that price, right? So you got to look at what did it actually close for? What did it actually, because what a lot of times what's going to happen is you have an appraiser come through and they'll lowball you, right? And or they'll, you just didn't run your comps right or whatever it may be, and you get a much lower comp, and now you either got to make a decision. You either close or you got to take it off the market and do something else. So, it's very important that you look at the solds when determining what the actual value is. But the actives and all that is just to get a pulse pretty much on what's happening with the market. What are people posting? What are they, we like to see all the new, is the neighborhood decreasing in price or increasing in price, right? So we want to see, is it more optimistic or pessimistic? And then what's the type of inventory that's being listed? Is it more, clean houses being listed, or are they all renovated? Because all this is going to influence us because we are fully renovating our houses. So we want to know, like, what does that competition look like? So that's why I'm selecting those, and then the actives, like I said, for that. So let's hit up here, show selected. There we go. So we're cleaning out the board a little bit, much more manageable amount of properties to look at. As far as the year goes, they're all relatively within the same scope. Ours was built in 86. So we're newer than most of these properties except for the very low one up here. We have 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So 4-3, 3-2, 3-2, 4-2-1. So I mean, and like I said last time, I'm not gonna go over all the bedrooms because I covered it last time. It's pretty much, you got to look at it. If these houses they're the same and they're not, it doesn't reflect on the price. Usually the square footage, it's not gonna mean a whole lot in these areas. Some areas it means a lot, in some areas it just doesn't. Don't be emotional about it. Like I said before, this is just something that just is, period. So just deal with it. Let's take a look at these. So this one's sold. I think we looked at this one last time. So this one's renovated. All right. So this is your pretty much, all day long ARV. This is a very basic rehab, very basic in the sense that, sorry, I didn't mean like basic, like low quality. I'm just saying basic, like it's very standard, everything that they've done. They've done pretty much everything: floors, paint, cabinets, bathrooms, backsplash. I wanted to get a better look at the windows. It seems like they put new windows in some areas. So it seems like it has new windows. Can't really tell from the picture. But all in all, this is a good comp, right? This is a nice, solid, strong comp. 1812, so it's about 100 square feet bigger, 100 and some change bigger than ours. It has an extra bedroom. It says 4-3 and no half, so it seems to have 3 full bathrooms. So it's a good size house with a lot of options, but it sold for 204 plus 5,000 in closing costs. So it really sold for under 200. So our house, it's a little bit smaller and everything, so I wouldn't expect to be selling ours at 205, all right? Just based off this one comp. So let's go back. Let's see this other one. So this other one, 1,300 square feet, 3.2, 1977, sold for 202.9. FHA with 7,000 in closing costs. Jesus. All right. Whole bunch of nonsense on this disclosure. Jesus Christ. All right. That agent was bored. Oh, dear God. For those of you listening on the podcast, you're definitely going to want to go to YouTube and watch the video on this because this is it's a visual episode, right? You got to see what we're doing. But I'm looking at these pictures of this house and definitely not things that I would have picked. It seems like just HGTV threw up in the house, but nonetheless, it sold. So it has everything new. Just personal preference, right? It's for me, it's ugly as shit, but somebody liked it, and it sold for 202, and it's 1383. So here's where the confusion starts coming in, right? You're looking at one that's 1,800 square feet. It's much bigger than this. Renovated to me a lot more tastefully, and it took longer to sell and is sold for essentially the same. So it's like, why did this sell for more? That's what I'm more curious of. So what I try to look at is this a one-off, or was the $1,800 one a one-off? That's what matters on this. So keep going, right? We're looking at this active one. It's on the market for 198. So this one's clean. Doesn't look renovated. It just looks clean. Somebody's living here and they did some minor updates. You still have Formica countertops, builder grade cabinets. Nothing crazy. Just a really nice, clean house. Sorry if I'm going quick on the pictures. I usually go a lot faster than this, so I'm trying to slow down so you guys can see. So you have a nice, decent yard. It seems to all be paved with some little gazebo thing that you can lounge. So, I mean, it's a nice yard for entertaining and your little kids area. So, not a bad house, not ARV, right? It's not renovated, but it is 1970 square feet. So, it's much bigger than ours by like damn near 300 square feet bigger. It's a 3.2, 68 days on the market, and it's not selling. So, this is interesting to me because it looks decent for 198. I'm curious as to why is it not selling. If we go here on the listing history, let's see. Yeah, it was last sold in 2015 for 130, and now it was listed in May. Good time to list. They listed at 205. I mean, yeah, I don't see anything wrong. So I'm curious. Like now, I'm very curious. Like, why is it not selling? I probably would schedule an appointment and go see this house myself, just to see are there some hidden issues that I'm not able to see on these pictures. Because there's a lot of times that you see a house, you see the pictures, and you're like, wow, what the hell's going on? Why is this house not selling? And then you go see the house, and it's like, oh, you are very selective with the pictures, right? You excluded so much details here. So you want to make sure that that's not happening here. That what is this market? What is the neighborhood telling you? It's like I always tell people all the time, don't be emotional about this. Don't try to make up your own mind about, I'm thinking and strategizing and, I read a book about this, so I think it might be heading in this direction because I'm a fortune teller. Stop it. All right. The market is telling you exactly what it is. Prices are slowing down, or prices are picking up, or there's some uncertainty in this neighborhood. Whatever it is, it's telling you that with these comps. Pay attention, look at them, and don't be stupid. So we'll keep moving on here. So this one's under active option, all right? This is nearly 1,400 square feet, 3.2. It was listed for 195.9. All right, looking at the pictures, I guess you can call it updated. Again, very poor choice of everything, but yeah, it looks like they put everything new. It looks like white shaker cabinets, granite countertop, backsplash, some new doors, tile in the bathrooms, new vanities. Man, that's just ugly. All right. So nice yard and everything. So again, this one's another potential, but this is active option. So that's interesting. 195, much smaller than ours. So let's see here. Oh, cool. So it was listed July 10th and it went under active option July 20th. That's really good. That's pretty quick. It went under active option really quick. So, all right. So now we got to see, this one, if I wasn't putting on the market yet, I would be following this one just to see what's going to happen with this. Now, another thing to keep in mind, when you are running these comps, what we do is usually our renovations, they take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, depending, because we do pretty big rehabs. I mean, we go all the way down to foundation, all the way to the roof, windows, plumbing, electrical, and all the cosmetics inside, right? So it takes time. So during those 4 months, 6 months, a lot of things can shift and change in the market. So you want to make sure that you are running the analysis throughout your renovation, because it's going to show you whether you're over improving, under improving, whether the market is shifting, it's changing, something's happening. It happened to us a bunch of times already where we were renovating. So I'm gonna give you two examples that we've had, right? That these were good. We were renovating a house, I want to say it was 2 years ago now, and it was a big house. We were targeting an ARV of 250, and or no, even less. I think it was like 240. But anyway, we were targeting that a lower ARV, and we were renovating it for that level of ARV. And as we are getting close to finishing up the project, that we're on the final touches, we start running comps, and we're like, oh shit, like we can probably sell this for 280 now, based on the comps that we were seeing. We were seeing 280. We were seeing maybe we can push 285, 290. I mean, like they were really going up, but at that price point, 240 to 290, it's a big gap, right? And in San Antonio, that's a huge gap, because now you have a lot more options at those price points. At least 2 years ago, you had a lot more options. So we're like, all right, we need to make this house stand out from the competition at that price point. So who can actually compete with us, right? So we went back in, and we actually restructured the shower. So we did some minor work to the shower. We made it much more open and bigger. We put glass doors. We went ahead. We did more staging on the property. We put blinds throughout the whole house. They had a patio in the back that we weren't going to do much with, but we went ahead and resurfaced it with new concrete. Everything made it look beautiful, painted it. So it looked really, really nice. So we did a lot more work. We did a lot more on the landscaping, higher detail, because now we were targeting a higher price point, right? So we did, I believe we did more shelving in the closets. So it's more like kind of you just buy the house, move in, it's ready to go. And it worked out. We ended up going under contract. We listed in December, which for a lot of people, it's a no-no, because it's, the worst time to list. Just on data and everything, it's when houses sell for the least amount of money. Less inventory at the time and all that. So but we went ahead. We had to do it. We borrow money and everything, so we got to put it on the market, and it went under contract. It took about 3 weeks for it to go on the contract, but we sold for about 280. I think it was 278, around there, around 280. So not bad. I mean, we spent, I think, total an extra 10 grand. From what we were originally, our original budget, we spent an extra 10 grand to make an extra pretty much 40 grand. So good return on your money. And then we have another one right now that's actually currently on the market. And the same thing, we were targeting an ARV of about 220. And as we're getting close to listing, we're running numbers again, and it's starting to look like 250. So we went back, we redid a lot of the landscaping, we did a little bit more on the staging, we did a little bit more with the final touches, and now we're under contract, right? For the price, for 255, I think, around there. So that's why you want to go running comps as you go through the project. Now, why does that matter for this one? So for this house, when we ran comps initially, which was pre-COVID, we bought this house, I want to say going on like 5 months now. We were seeing houses that were being listed and sold for 205, same square footage, and they were just clean. They were just clean, ready to go. Somebody had lived there, nothing was updated. It was just a clean house ready to go for 205. So we're like, shit, we're updating ours, completely updating it. We can at least get 215 for it, right? We can push the comps a little bit, because, I mean, there's no ARVs. There's no houses that were renovated. So we took a bit of a gamble on it, right? So we go ahead now, and we start running these comps. And as I'm running these comps, I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm seeing 1,800 square foot, like the one that we just saw, selling for about 200, 205. So I was like, crap. What that means is this neighborhood kind of hit a roof, and it happens, right? There's neighborhoods that are growing quickly and they're just going up, going up, going up. And then they hit a roof and they kind of plateau a little bit, right? Maybe come down a little bit, but they plateau. And then all of a sudden, they'll linger there for a little bit and then they hit another growth spurt. And that's exactly what's happening to this one. So this one, it was going up because it's in a great area. There aren't many houses. There aren't any space for new houses in the area. It's in a very desirable area of San Antonio. As you see, like there's not many active properties, and at least not many active renovated properties. So it has a lot of things going for it. But the area hit a roof where now people are like, I don't know. And with this whole COVID thing, a lot of people are a little more reserved with where they're buying and the price they're spending and all of that. So we actually went ahead and we put this house on the market for $215 because we're like, let's see what happens. And we get a contract. Very excited. Everything's good to go. The appraisal comes through. He appraises it at 190. Like, shit. So what happens is that we have buyers, they were FHA or VA or something. So it needs to appraise. They don't have money. They can't make up the difference. And we weren't going to sell for 190. And not because we weren't going to lose money, but we know what the neighborhood is doing. So we went back here and let me show you what we did. So we're looking at all these properties, right? We're seeing all this pending active option. So I'm seeing this one that's active, 1,400 square feet for 185. It looks clean, somewhat updated, but nothing crazy, for 185. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, I think our price is still good. It's just right now in the market, we've had these properties for 1,800 square feet selling for 205. So they can't comp it higher than that. I mean, they could. There's other neighborhoods they cross over, and I've seen appraisers do that in the past. This person, maybe they were new, didn't give a damn, but they definitely didn't do that. So they didn't try to make the deal work. And actually, I just realized I didn't switch over the camera. So here, let me show you again. All right. So they didn't, they definitely didn't cross the line or anything like that. They didn't go into other neighborhoods because, I mean, yeah, I agree. They didn't need to. I saw those houses there and they're worth 190. So, there we go. So we're looking at them and I was like, all right, 204 for 1,800 square feet. This one seems like it was a fluke for right now. I mean, we'll see what these other ones sell for. But we're like, all right, the appraiser came in, and it is what it is. We can't do much about that. So what we went ahead and I'm like, all right. So we're talking about it with John. What are we going to do? Are we going to, take a hit on this, sell it and just get our money out? Or what's going to happen? I'm like, well, let's check out the rents. So we run rentals. And this is not rentals. Sorry. Rentals. Oh, that's why. Yeah, there we go. All right. So rentals, 41. Jesus. That's a lot of data. Let's see. Where's the square footage? Okay. Oh, got to scroll a little bit. Here we go. Oh, no, I do have it set on square footage. Interesting. Yeah, let's make this smaller. A little bit tighter to our property. Still 41. Jeez. All right, screw it. Let's look at the 41. I don't want to go much tighter because I want to really see what... Oh, okay, here we go. So what I'm seeing here is you see duplex. We're not a duplex. So I want to exclude those right now. So I'm going to look at... I think somebody's been in here and has been moving our stuff around. So type. There we go. Single family. Now let's look at this. There we go. 38. All on one page. Very nice. So again, we have our custom view of the properties that we like to, the way we like to look at the data. So we're looking at this and we're seeing, we saw this one down here, right? 3-2, 1566 square feet, rented for $1,595. So $1,600, not bad. So let's look at this. 2-car garage, tile, granite, new cabinets, nice light home, new carpeting. Nice, right? Nice, clean house. Looks updated. And for $1,600, 36 days, seems to have no problem. All right. So we looked at that and we're like, okay, $1,600. That's not bad. We were in it for, I believe, all in like at 140. So, we're looking at this and we're like, shoot, we're in it for less, for way under the 1% rule, if you want to go by those. So we're like, all right, that's interesting. So then we're looking at other ones. We're looking at this one, 1,600 square feet, 1,545, right? Rented. Again, we always look at rented. 1,800 square feet, 1,500, 1,600 square feet, 1,450. So let's look at the 1,800, because the 1,800, I'm curious, bigger home, what's it look like? So nothing updated, just laminate, terrible pictures. I tell you guys, pictures makes a world of difference. Spend $100 and get good pictures, even for rentals. We do it for rentals too. So no updates on the bathrooms. Yeah, so no updates. It's just a clean house, 1,800 square feet, renting for 1,500. So that alone right there is more than enough for me to say, yeah, we can definitely list ours. Plus, I know what the rental market is in San Antonio, right? John Barr, my business partner, he does the market updates. And in those market updates, we look at, what the rentals are and the prices and everything. And rents are going through the roof right now because of COVID. A lot of people are want to get out of their homes, right? They want to get out of their apartments and their condos and all that, and they want a house with a yard. They want space. And they've realized that living in condos and apartments when, a virus or some shit like this hits and then there's a lockdown, it prohibits what you do with your life. So people have been fed up with that. So we've noticed that with all of our rentals. So we went ahead and we listed for that price. So I'm actually going to show you our listing. Here's our listing. So it's like I said, 321, 1688. So we did the whole thing, painted the whole exterior, interior, did all new siding on the house, new roof. So we staged the house because again we listed it, so we had the staging, so we used all the same pictures. Why not? We did a little work on the fireplace back here. It was very plain, and we just went ahead and did a nice little stone kind of surround on it. But you see how different staging makes a house look? I mean, damn it! All right, let me go back to the beginning. Forgot to switch the screen again. There we go. Sorry about that. So this is the house. Again, paint everything, paint all the exterior, new siding, new roof. All right. So interior, staged, like I was just saying. Here's the stone on the fireplace that we did. So it looks much nicer. It was very plain before. Here's the kitchen. It's a huge kitchen. It has a beautiful, nice big kitchen. New cabinets throughout. Everything new cabinets, granite, new appliances, new plumbing, new electrical, little backsplash there. So as you can see, it has that little dining, eating area in the kitchen. Another dining room area. This is the master. Master was pretty big with a nice little outdoor patio. Bathroom, tile everywhere. You see how tasteful this renovation is? Here's the guest bath. This was a patio that was kind of like falling apart when we got it. And we just went ahead, tore the whole thing out and just redid the patio. So it looks, tremendously nicer. Nice big yard. So there you have it. That was our property. So it's fully renovated, a good renovation too. Things that would go for a lot of people there. But the appraiser came through and he's like, well, it's worth 190, and we're like, we're just not gonna let it go at that price. I'd rather go ahead and rent it for 1,600, which is what we had. I don't know, within a week, we had like 5 contracts, people submitting contracts left and right for this house because of that. It's fully updated, everything's brand new. And, at 1,600 in this area, hard to get. So, plenty of demand. So, now what we're going to do is cash flow is going to be great. It's going to be cash flowing very nicely. But our goal with this is not so much the cash flow, but more of just holding out for it to finish that plateau and keep growing. Once it keeps growing, maybe a year or two from now, we'll go ahead and sell it at that point and sell it for what we wanted to sell it for with, the cash flow already in place and everything in place. And we might not have to do much to the property when we do so. We've done that a few times. We call it the 2-year flip. So it works very well. Another thing I want you to keep in mind is when you put a scope of work together is you want to make sure, you want to understand that scopes of work are like living organisms, all right? A scope of work is not something that you're putting together in a stone tablet and it's over. You cannot erase anything. You cannot change anything. It doesn't work that way, okay? A scope of work, it needs to be something, you always need to have one. Don't get me wrong. You have to have one, but it needs to be something that you're always okay with changing and you can modify, all right? And you have to be okay with that because there's so many people that are like, but that's not in the scope. It's like, I get it's not in the scope. But look at what the comps are telling you. Look at what the information is telling you. Like, it makes sense to do it anyways because you're going to get more value. You're going to spend 10 grand and make 40. So you want to make sure you keep that scope of work moldable so you can make sure that, if you need to make these changes, if you need to make these pivots, you can and you do, and it becomes beneficial to you and your project. Another thing is, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. So subscribe to our channel and everything. It really helps. And set the notifications so next time we keep uploading walkthrough videos and all that, you get notified right away and you can check them out. But getting back to this is when you look at the comps, you want to see what is everybody doing. And then what is it that you can do to stand out from them? So what we do is when we are renovating these houses and everything, we set kind of like, all right, what is the bare minimum to sell this house for the ARV? Well, the bare minimum is we got to do all this. Great. Got it. Now, what is that extra little touch that we can do that makes us stand apart from each one of these houses? And a lot of times that little extra touch is not that expensive. A lot of people think the extra touch is, you got to do, tile backsplash all the way to the ceiling in the kitchens, and you got to do, some rotating bathtub. It's like, relax. You don't have to go that crazy, all right? It's just sometimes you got to pay attention to what is it, the things that they've missed. Sometimes staging is that little extra touch. Sometimes landscaping is that little extra touch. So you got to pay attention to all this. A lot of times, like it could be the hardware on the doors. A lot of doors, like we'll leave the plain doors, those solid cord, hollow solid doors, the flat ones. We'll leave them, but we'll change out the hardware, and then it looks fancier. It looks newer because we'll put that like black looking hardware. And it looks really nice. So we do a lot of little tricks like that. And the same with tile work. Sometimes we'll break up the tile with a little accent piece or something. We'll build out a shelf. We'll build out a little nook. We'll do different things here and there just to make it a little bit different than everybody else's. And that little bit is just when buyers are looking at your house and they're comparing apples to apples, which apple looks tastier? And we always want them to pick our apple. So, you got to be able to just see how is yours going to stand out that little bit more. So I hope this has been very valuable to you guys. This is much shorter than the last one because, combine the two. But I hope it makes sense. Keep doing your comps, even if you're going to keep it as a rental. Keep doing them because it's going to tell you, are you still targeting the same rent or do you need to drop it? Are you going higher? Do you need to upgrade something on your renovations? Same with the listings. So keep at it. Keep watching it. It's going to help you tremendously. to form that habit and to get that idea. So I hope you guys are enjoying all these videos. Again, if you want any walkthrough on anything else that I have not covered or gone over yet, let me know. Hit me up, put a message below, send me an email, whatever is convenient for you. Let me know what walkthroughs, what type of things you would like to see me cover, and I'll go ahead and I'll do a video about it. So the next video I want to do is actually on a CRM that we use, and just to kind of show you how we use it. A lot of people, I believe, overthink CRMs and overpay for them. So I want to show you how we use one that's completely free, and it's worked great for us. So, definitely give you our point of view on it, and hopefully that helps you guys out. So again, subscribe to the channel. Check out the podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts as you're hitting the gym and everything. Just keep listening to them, because that's how I learned. I just keep listening to it, and eventually those things just kind of like engrave themselves in your brain. So when you're doing things, it just becomes second nature to you. And that's what you want this business to be, second nature. It's just something that just clicks and you get it. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think. And I will catch you guys on the next episode.